Program Coordinator, our panelists, the faculty, students, and also our parents, the parents of the students. Welcome to the panel discussion on career opportunities for commerce graduates, organized by Vidya Vikas Mandal's Shree Damodar College of Commerce and Economics. VVM Shree Damodar College is completing 50 successful and glorious years on June 16, 2023. During the last 50 years, the college has grown in leaps and bounds and is distinct for its academic excellence, healthy, conducive environment, dedicated faculty, and high sense of social commitment. The college consistently endeavors towards academic excellence, nurturing talent and innovation. We are proud to say that Shree Damodar College is one of the most prominent colleges in Goa and is recognized both within and outside the state as a center of educational excellence. I now request our principal, Professor Preeta Malya, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Cheryl, and a very warm welcome to everyone, particularly our three panelists. Welcome to the session. Students and of course parents. It's that time of the year again when students are getting anxious, parents are getting anxious about admissions, about whether the discipline that they have chosen is the right one, what are they going to do after they graduate. These are questions that I think every student faces at some point. And as parents also, some of us have gone through that stage where for our children, we have worried whether, they have made the right choice. So what we do in Shree Damodar College is that once students join, we have a career cell that, has a series of sessions throughout the year where, we invite experts to talk to students about their particular field. What are they doing now, and what is the path that they took to get there? So that once a student enters, they are aware of what are the career options. But for the last 3 to 4 years, we decided that let's not restrict it only to our students. Before a student joins, let a student be aware of the multitude of opportunities that are available to a commerce graduate once they join, so that in some sense, at least for some of them, they might be able to start planning right from day one. So for that, I think it was in 2020 for the first time that we started with these sessions. And I'm very proud to say that we have always invited alumni. We have always invited ex-students to do these sessions, particularly so that students know that, that if they get into the college, we can also get to where these experts are today. So that sense of relation, that sense of identity is something that ex-students bring. In the first couple of years, we invited only one expert, but then we gradually realized that the expert gets exhausted by the time the session is over, because there are so many opportunities that are open to somebody to a student who graduates from a commerce discipline. The beauty of the commerce discipline is its very interdisciplinary nature, and the fact that it prepares students, it gives students, an idea of so many different fields. So from the last couple of years, I think we started last year, we decided that we would have a panel. Again, all ex-students, all alumni, were coming from different fields so that they could guide students, tell students about the career path to that particular field of excellence. Before getting into the actual the session on careers, just a couple of questions that I'm hearing are going around. That NEP 2020, is it coming this year? To that, the answer is yes. At the higher education level, at the college level, 2023 is the year when Goa is implementing the NEP 2020. So that's a given. What is the NEP 2020 about? Firstly, it's a choice-based credit system. So, how much you study is measured in terms of credits. Like, you measure distance in kilometers, you measure volume in liters or cubic meters. So what you study is measured in credits. So if you go anywhere in India after NEP is implemented, and if you say that I've completed, let us say, a 4 credit course in accounting, then that person will immediately understand that, okay, this student has completed 60 hours of classroom sessions in accounting, and he has answered a 100-mark exam in accounting. That is what a credit basically is defining. So that it's a credit system in that sense. The system also allows the student to exit and rejoin. There are multiple exits and re-entry into the system over a period of 7 years. I will address that. If there are any specific questions, I'll take those at the end. But these are the highlights basically of NEP. Another very important point about the NEP is that there is supposed to be an entrance test. Now, for all students in Goa who are answering the BCom, who are trying to enter the BCom program, this year there is no entrance test. Okay, so this year, 23-24, there is no entrance test. But from next year, any student entering into any program would have to answer an entrance test. And it's a common entrance test which will be conducted by Goa University. All right. So for this year, again, I'm saying this again so that you don't panic. This year, there is no entrance test. It's only standard 12 results for BCom. And lastly, I would say that about the focus of NEP is not only on knowledge. The focus of NEP is also on skills, development of skills, which is something that industry is constantly asking for. So a lot of skills have been incorporated into the syllabus, the syllabi of various courses, and there are separate skill-based programs as well. So with that as my introduction to the NEP, and I'm willing to take any number of questions after this session, but I know all the students and parents are waiting to hear what our experts have to say. So I welcome Ms. Grace Dicunya, Mr. Praveen Kakode, and CA Vinayak Dhumatkar, our very distinguished panelists. And I'm sure you will be able to shed light on all the queries that the students may have. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks, Vinay.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request our BCom program coordinator, Dr. Anjali Sajilal, to provide an overview of the BCom program.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, one and all present here. I welcome you all for the panel discussion. It's my privilege to present before you our BCom program. Okay. BCom program of Damodar College is the flagship program of this college. Presently, we'll be having 4 years, 8-semester degree program affiliated to Goa University. It's, as ma'am said, it's choice-based credit system. The eligibility to get admission is SSC from any stream. There are wide choice of courses at all the 4 years. 4 years. We are having outcome-based evaluation and 4 divisions of FY, SO, and TY BCom. Presently, at the Damodar College for the BCom program, we have for so many departments: Department of Commerce and Management, Department of English and Communication, Department of Economics and Banking, Law, Information Technology, Physical Education, Mathematics, and Environmental Studies. For teaching BCom programs, we are using ICT-based teaching tools. We also use interactive and participative student-centric teaching methods, which are case studies, group discussion, role plays, presentations, and others. We also have industry to classroom series of lectures which give students extra knowledge other than classroom teaching. We always invite regular guest faculties from industry. We have a virtual commerce laboratory. We also have summer internships, and we also conduct regular remedial classes. We at Shree Damodar College have highly qualified and experienced teachers. Our faculty are members on board of studies and other Goa University committees. Our faculty also go for industry embedment. Our teachers are mentors of students, and our teachers also are project guides for students. Our campus is Wi-Fi enabled campus. We have all classrooms with audio-visual facilities. We have fully equipped computer lab. We have a well-stocked library with e-resources. We have enhanced borrowing limit for advanced learners, which is given based on the performance of the students. We have book bank facilities as well as Students Consumer Cooperative Society, which provides different requirements of the student. And we have the initiative of our colleges. We also have a center of excellence in sales. Uh, Along with regular teaching, we also conduct add-on courses and certifications. For first year students, we have 21st century life skill courses, and the other add-on courses are given to students based on their requirements. They can opt for any of the courses which are already mentioned on our brochure as well as on our prospectus. The other co-curricular activities which we normally conduct are our annual national level student colloquium, which is Samvad, student research seminar, the career guidance by professionals from various fields, active placement cell which always conducts pre-placement training sessions, coaching for MBA and bank recruitment exams, budget screening, analysis and panel discussion. We also conduct annual study tours to various institutions such as RPI, SEBI, BSc, NSC. There are continuous industrial visits to companies within and outside Goa. Also, we conduct counseling and mentoring sessions for students with facilities required. Our extracurricular activities are conducted to various clubs to cater the diverse talents of students. We have commerce club, economics club, literary club, performing art club, fine arts club, nature club, and readers and NDLI club. So students, you can become members of different clubs and enroll yourself to and participate in the activities conducted by the various clubs. Along with teaching, extracurricular activities which we conduct are sports, where students can participate and show their talent. There are different student activities which are conducted by Students' Council, Cultures Council, and all other cells of the college. We also conduct outreach and extension activities where students go outside the college and perform some activities, and they are done through different organizations or with associations with various clubs and organizations. The program distinctiveness is we are having scholarship for students. It is rupees 5,000 per year Vidya Vikas Mandal Golden Jubilee Scholarship for the top 5 students scoring more than 90% at standard 12. Also, we are having a talent scholarship for students of our college. We are always getting good results, and we are also having university rankers. Based on the performance of the students at different clubs and activities, we give recognition to students as Commerce Wizard and Economics of the Year Award. There are different innovative assignments which are given as part of their ISA for students, which also helps them to acquire practical knowledge and skill. That is access to e-resources and which can be used for completing their assignments and projects. The regular guest faculties in different subjects by professionals for industry always enhances their learning in that particular subject. Learning beyond classroom with add-on classes is always conducted by industry professionals. We are having well-placed alumni, and you all will get experience with our panelists today. Our president of Vidya Vikas Mandal is alumnus of our BCom program. We have maximum students activities which are all reflected in our college newsletters. So parents and students, you can definitely visit our college website and our newsletters, which will help you to know all the activities conducted by college during the academic year. We are having year-round career awareness sessions for students so that they are aware of various careers and they can decide their future. Annual placement fair is always conducted at TY level so that the students, once they are completing their graduation, can get the experience of interviews and also can get placed in good organizations. Our program is an aided program. We also have students on scholarship, and there are many books which are authored by our teachers. There one distinctiveness in our program is our teachers evaluation is done by students, which help the teachers to improve their teaching as well as improve their performance by knowing what is required and expected by the students. Our teachers are now they're regularly updating their knowledge by attending various courses, seminars, conferences. Our admission is purely merit-based admission. So once we get the forms, we will be putting up the merit list, and based on that, admissions is given to all the students. There is transparent and merit-based allocation of all the courses, whichever are required to be given on a different basis. That criteria will be displayed, and based on which students can select the subjects. We also have faculty and industry exchange program, and there is always student representation on various committees of our college. With this, I end my BCom presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Our panelists for today are well renowned and accomplished in their respective fields. Our first panelist is CA Vinayak Dhumadkar. Mr. Vinayak Dhumadkar qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 2010 and has more than 10 years of diverse industry experience in all areas of statutory and internal audits, due diligence, taxation, both direct and indirect, company law matters, management consultancy, information system audit, and FEMA. Sir is IT savvy and is well equipped to carry out information system audit and is also well versed with MIS related activities and has handled audits of hotels and several branches of nationalized banks and private limited companies. His main focus is on GST advisory and its compliance services. Among several engagements, Sir is the member of the Managing Committee and the Chairman of the Taxation Subcommittee of the Goa branch of WIRC of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yes. Our next panelist is Mr. Pravin Kakude. Sir has completed his PGDM in Finance and Marketing at St. Joseph College of Business Administration and is a mentee at the School of Courage by Wokat, powered by Accenture. Mr. Kakude is a businessman and the managing director of Upgrade Enterprises Private Limited that manufactures construction chemicals and cleaning chemicals. He is the managing partner at Kakude Trading LLP, engaged in a wide range of building materials. Mr. Kakude was a member of the Young Indians Goa chapter and currently is the convener of the CII Goa panel on the ease of doing business. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Our next panelist is Ms. Grace Dakuna. Ma'am has completed her master's in business management from St. Xavier's, Mumbai. She has 20 years overall experience in retail branch banking, and she joined the Times Bank corporate office in Mumbai in 1998 and further moved to HDFC Bank in Goa, handling various roles from a personal banker to a senior branch manager. Presently, ma'am is the Assistant Vice President in Axis Bank, Senior Branch Manager. We welcome you, ma'am. We will now move ahead to the panel discussion. I would like to begin with CA Vinayak Dhumadkar. So, what are the recent trends that are emerging in the areas of accounting, taxation, and auditing?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Cheryl, for the brief introduction. So, welcome all. So, as far as the recent trends is concerned, me being a chartered accountant, I would like to shed some light as far as the accounting changes that have happened recently. I know we are talking to the students of BCom. They will be it's a stepping stone for all of you in the world, in the ocean of accounting going forward. Okay, but the changes which have happened recently, which I like to shed light, is in the taxation, income tax act. We say these are the two pillars of our profession, which is one is your Companies Act and the other one is the Income Tax Act. Both these pillars have seen changes. Companies Act 2013 and Income Tax Act 1961. Both these acts have Income Tax Act has gone into amendment, whereas Companies Act 2013 has been introduced. So, as an accountant, what is our role as far as the business is concerned? See, earlier, what the auditors were known as, they were known as the watchdogs. So they were not bloodhound. These were the famous wordings in the initial judgments which were given. In this I'm talking about in the year 1896. I think this become students will know this case law. This is the famous case law in Kingston Cotton Mill case, where the judgment held that the auditors are not watchdogs. They are not the bloodhound. They are just the watchdogs. So this trend has this culture. This there is a major cultural change which has happened in this judgment. Today, we are no more watchdogs. We are more than the bloodhounds today. So whatever the changes which have happened today are not mainly in the theory. Today we are completely changed from theory based to digital transformation. The earlier cultural change which has happened in the way the books of accounts are maintained, the way the accounting happens, is all happening in electronic modes today. So brief change which has happened from 1st of April 2023 is the audit trail which has come into play. Now, what is audit trail? Now, for students of BCom, audit trail is something which gives us a substantiation for auditor to know what are the changes that have happened in your books of accounts. Who has done the changes? When the changes have been done? So this is a major change which has come from 1st of April. So for today's scenario as far as the accounting is concerned, an auditor has to be of age today. There is nothing what you can just read the books. You today's scenario is so dynamic that you will get such a scenario where you have to give your opinions on different scenarios today. So the other day we had to give an opinion on what are the policy, what are the plus points and minuses in whereas the HR policies are concerned. So if you really speak, HR policy is not as far as the area of auditor is concerned, but if you see the policies, if you read the policies, there are a lot of things which can be advised to the company as far as the human resource cost benefits are concerned for the company. So this is the scenario as far as the changes which have come to play. And today we are discussing about the things of digital transformation, really in the sense of your blockchain technologies, your Internet of Things, okay, data analytics. Today we are talking about forensic accounting. So the basics, what we were talking as far as the accounting has gone a complete change. So today, if we want to progress, students from your point of view, today if we have to progress after BCom, there is gone are the days where we're saying after BCom we will just earn some money and we will stay. No, today the cost of inflation is so much that just having a BCom degree is of no use. You need to put in more efforts. You need to be more disciplined. You need to study more. Okay, you need to get a good degree in your hands. That is when you will be able to lead a decent life. I wouldn't say a very luxurious life, but a decent life. And for that matter, after BCom, the opportunities are many. I, being a chartered accountant, I will always suggest chartered accountancy because it is not one of the cheapest, I won't use that word, but it is one of the most reasonable and highest of the standards profession in India. Currently, we are Institute of Chartered Accountants of India is one of the largest accounting body. It's the second largest body in the world. We are we are enacted under the Act of the Parliament, so it's well renowned. And being a chartered accountant is always an honor to represent your company, to represent your clients before departments. As far as chartered accountants, as far as our institute is concerned, we are doing a lot of efforts to be in touch with the colleges. We are doing enormous work for the governments as well. We are in direct and we are working very closely with the governments in formation of the policies. Skill development board of the institute is there to help all the colleges to improve the skills. We are working with the panchayat levels also. We are working with Department of Education. Now, very recently, we are in the process of executing the agreement MOU with the Directorate of Education, which will help the colleges to improve the skills of the teachers, professors, and students as well. And briefly, before I conclude, I would like to just introduce the TAL program, Train, Earn and Learn. This is a program which is being introduced by the Institute of Chartered Accountants. This is a program for the aspiring CA students in the colleges. So this gives you a learning for approximately 50 to 60 hours. You have to complete those hours and you get hands-on experience in the CA office for 1 year. After that you will be considered trained, and you will be getting placements in the CA offices, and after that you are open for your future prospects, whatever you get. Okay, so with that I conclude my remarks as far as your first question is concerned, Cheryl.
Thank you, sir. Students, I request you to please post your questions in the chat box. Your questions will be addressed at the end by the respective panelists or the principal or vice principal or the PGOM program coordinator. I now move on to Sir Pravin. Sir, can you throw light on the emerging trends in the field of management, which is available to our students?
Yeah, so good morning. Thank you for your question. See, the whole process of management or the way the business works is changing. Very frankly, digitization is entering our lives beyond imagination. Simplest thing which I think most of the students might have heard is ChatGPT. So any of the assignments, anything which you need, just put the question and you get the answer. So AI is invading our lives in ways beyond recognition. Okay. Now, for example, if somebody was to write a software code, the software can write the code today. So one of the fundamental change which all students or even professionals who are working will have to really imbibe is this constant process of learning, unlearning and relearning. Because if you want to stay relevant, those days where you had a BCom degree and then you are good for the market are gone. Whatever your degree might be, whether it's a chartered accountant, whether it's a banker, whether it's a businessman, all fields are changing and changing very drastically. Now, from a management point of view, data becomes very, very important. So we are all quite engaged in the digital space. So we are leaving our footprint there. So organizations, including businesses like mine, which are traditional, which are dealing in building materials, we have to respect the fact that, we start analyzing data and arrive at decision based on data. So there are a lot of new kind of roles which will evolve where you could be sitting in office and marketing things across the world. So in that sense, world has become a very small place. So there are umpteen number of opportunities which will come up. We need to work with our mindset. What I see when I interview most of the graduate students is they think with the limitation that they are from Goa, they want to work only in Margao, they want to work only in South Goa. I think with digital, you need to open up the mind and think differently, where if you learn the new techniques, there are ChatGPT is the one which is more famous, but there are so many things which have come in AI today, where any role you do after graduation or this, there is so much which can be done by people who are equipped with knowledge of the latest technology. I'll give you a simple example. I know of a boy who is maybe 12th pass. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. And he has learned the art of selling things on Instagram. Now he picked up skills in digital technologies, how we can do search engine optimization and all those things. And he is doing close to 10 lakh business a month just on Instagram. So my view, management is going to change in the sense where you have to have very deep insights into your working. Everybody has to be aware that you need to create value, and most critically, you have to keep retooling yourself to remain relevant. I think that is what my remarks should be. We have to look beyond college what is being taught and look for more latest trends to pick them up on the go. Thank you, Sharil.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, Ma'am Grace Dakuna, I would like to ask you about the emerging trends in the area of banking and insurance.
Yeah, thank you, Cheryl, for this question. So I think both the speakers have given their insights, and it's always a pleasure to share my experience, of the last 20 years. And career choice in banking is one of my most favorite topic. So I think the latest trends that at least I have witnessed in the last 20 years is, there's focus on strengthening risk management processes and systems, emphasis on technology. I think this is one of the emerging trend where all nationalized and private sector banks are really focusing on updating technology. And I've also seen another trend that's emerging is on product innovation and merchandising or branding, because all private sector as well as nationalized banks are doing their bit, to ensure that they have a right presence in the market. Besides, it has also been strengthened by a series of finance and regulatory reforms, such as flexibility in lending rates, gradual decrease of government holding in public sector and nationalized banks, ease of instructions on private and foreign banks. So these are some of the emerging trends that I have seen, and I think we have also seen the way the digital payments, have shown an different kind of change. So we are seeing the payments now being diverted on digital channels like mobile banking, net banking, and ECS, RTGS. So we have POS, we have tele banking. So these and as far as life insurance is concerned, I think again life insurance also wants to create a demand for a personalized insurance product. Gone are the days when life insurance is to be a very traditional product where the insurance agent would come and sit in front of you, explain the product. But with the digital adoption, I think it's much more transparent, and the customer also expects to have a personalized insurance product backed up with a good artificial intelligence and technology.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir Vinayak, I would like to ask you about what are the additional skills that the students are required to have, or what are the industry expectations from the students in addition to being a commerce graduate? What else can they do to be more, acceptable or recruited easily in the field of accounting and taxation?
Thanks, Cheryl. So in my initial remarks, as I said, today's scenario has is more of digital transformation. Today we are talking about all about digital accounting. So as far as the auditor of today's age is concerned, he has to be more adaptive, I would say, and resilient, and hardworking is of course there, but he should be willing to put in those extra hours, as Praveen also mentioned. So the today's problem is in Goa more particularly is that we more believe in 9 to 5 timings. The timing, we come at 10 o'clock or we come at 9:30, then we want to go at 5:30. So this kind of attitude is not going to help the future generation in any way. Today we have to be ready in working for any number of hours. Okay, it may be working from home or you may be working from office, but you should be ready, because today we are talking about cloud computing, where you can work from anywhere and everywhere. So the timing there should not be any constraints on your mind as far as the timing is concerned. So, and self belief is more important. So today you will be faced with lot of challenges. You will be faced with very dynamic situations where you will need to improvise on a lot of things. Gone are the days where you would go into your conventional mode, and you would like to figure out what is the problem in this and what is the solution for this. You need to improvise on things. You need to be more of a problem solving accountant today. You need to identify the problem first of all. That is the most important today. Identification of what is the error, what is the lacuna in the system is more important. Those days where you would find it in your books, where the books were written, and then you would find that this entry is wrong, gone are the days. See, today your payments are going on GPays. Today your payments are going on the other apps. Earlier you used to do it in your checks mode. So you don't know what are the transactions coming into your bank account, for example, just for understanding of the student. So how do you do it? So you should be talking to, you should be more communicative today. The other feature, what is the requirement is you need to have more communication skills. Second is drafting skills. You need to understand how you need to draft. As legal side, you need, as an advocate, how you draft the reports, legal, your sale it same similar like that. As a chartered accountant, today we need to give opinions on several matters. So drafting is an extra very important feature in our profession. It has to be very clear what you are trying to put out to the management. We report to the management, so the accountants today have to be conscious of this fact that today we are reporting on the true and fair position of the company's profits. We are not stating whether it is true and correct. So we are stating whether it is true and fair. So these all points have to be kept in mind. And yeah, so there's a complete change which has to come in the mindset of the students. Education, of course, can be picked up, but the mindset has to change at this point where you all are all standing. This is the right stepping stone. After this, you will be going into the ocean, as I already said. But that will be a very, very difficult situation if you all don't change the mindset today. Because Goa, for that matter, is a laid back state, as we all know. But the moment you step out of Goa and you go and enter Mumbai or for any other metro cities, you know how to what is the change I'm talking about. So that change has to come into the mindset first, and then in your books of account, whatever may be the profession you select, may it be chartered accountancy, may it be legal, may it be banking, may it be business, whatever. But if there is no self belief, if there is no discipline in you, nothing can change for you. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you, Mr. Vinayak. You have very well summarized the requirements and the skills that students should have when applying for such jobs or looking for, careers in the field of accountancy. Sir Pravin, you have been involved in recruitments. So what are the skills that you are looking for when you recruit students, and what are the requirements of the industry, and especially in the field of management?
So there are jobs of variety of types. So very difficult to generalize and answer, what skills are required. But two things which I will want to put a finger on, which would help everybody is, one, we need to develop something called as a growth mindset. Growth mindset is basically, you might know, but of what you know, what do you know to do with it? So a lot of time in colleges, we learn the theory, but when we come to apply it in the real life, we find that the real life has probably moved ahead. So that ability to pick up the threads from where you have learned in the college to applying in real life, that ability is required. Because see, I don't expect students to come prepared for a job in toto. There will be some on the job training. So your ability to adapt at the job level, picking up those specific skills are important. And I think most organizations are also mentally prepared to handhold there. That is first. Second, if you want to improve your career, again in business as well as in jobs, I think along with technology, your people skills is very, very critical. Because see, whether you work in a job, business or everything, you are dealing with people. So apart from your specific domain knowledge, which I am sure the college is doing a very good job, what is critical is the people skill. I'll give you an example why I'm talking what I'm talking. So when I did my post-graduation, the batch senior to me, there was a very unique situation. So one of my seniors got 3 gold medals. and there was one boy who failed in one subject. The guy who failed managed to get the highest package, and the guy who got the medals was getting a very normal kind of a package. The reason was this guy who had failed in one subject had done lot of industry assignments. He had built a good network with people. So your ability to convince the person, whether it's your customer, whether it's your boss, whether it's your colleague, that you are capable and you stand to the commitments that you make, or you show that extra effort to meet those commitments. I think these are two underlying skills, because other than that, the skills which are there, be it the golden rules of accounting, be it using tally, these things will keep changing and evolving. But your fundamental skills, where you have a mindset that you want to continuously upkeep with what is going on, one. Second, your ability to carry people along, I think that will make the biggest difference. I look for the attitude primarily. So the line we use in our company is hire for attitude, train for skills.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pravin. I have attended Sir's session before, and another thing that he always focuses on is Zaina Tashakaina. I would like to add that also to one of your rules. I would now request Ma'am Grace to please throw some light on the add-on skills and the industry expectations that you are looking for, since you are involved in the recruitment in the banking and insurance sector.
Yeah, I think Vinayak and Praveen has, rightly said the right words. I don't really have to add much. But what I have seen in my entire last 20 years is, many of the students that come for the interviews, they are not coming prepared. They are not really sure what they want to do next. I've seen many students coming with a very doubtful mind, and they have really not made a right choice even at that moment when they have entered the, premises in a bank to really ensure that they're making a career choice in banking. So, a growth mindset, as Praveen said, is totally what I agree, because growth mindset and opportunistic mindset is very important. All other skills are secondary, and of course, you really require those skills to ensure, that you get into these kind of fields, because banking, insurance is nothing but interacting with a lot of customers. So I think communication skills are very important. I believe it's my personal success story where I think as a by having a good PR, I've always been successful in getting more customers to the bank and building the network. So I think other skills will always be there. Your computer knowledge, leadership skills, your team building is so important. As Praveen also said that, sometimes we have a very narrow mindset that people want to join, but they're not ready to expand. They have a very narrow mind horizon that I want to work only here. I want to work only in this branch. Oh, the location is going to be a problem. So I think students should have a very broad time horizon, a broader mind, and willing to take these opportunities that are going to come their way, because today we are leading into a new generation, and their mindset, the way their expectations in any career are completely different. They are gone are the days when we were so adaptive to those old skills. But I think the newer generation I have seen interacting, they want new things, and they want things to be much more advanced. So I have just one advice: just be make a very strong mind before you want to make any career choice, and just work on yourself. I think self development is very important. Rest everything will follow.
Thank you, ma'am. We will now move on to the question answer session. We have questions come in the chat box. I request our principal, Professor Preeta Malya, to please take the first question. That is what is the difference between a BCom and a BCom honors?
Yeah, thank you, Cheryl. That question came from Sharvani, I think. There is, currently also in the present system, we have a BCom as well as a BCom honors. Only thing is, in the present system, both are 3-year programs. Under the NEP, which all of you will be joining, you enroll for a BCom honors program, which is basically a 4-year program. And in each year is composed of 2 semesters, what in school you call terms. The difference is that, at the end of the semester, you complete an exam and then you don't have that syllabus for the next semester. It's a completely different set of subjects, a different set of courses in the next semester. So every year has 2 semesters. So you do 2 at first year, 2 at second year, 2 at third year, and 2 at the fourth year. So a student who is doing a BCom honors program will complete 8 semesters, right? And in each of the semester, the students will do what is called 20 credits. Now, a credit is, like I said, a unit of measurement. So in a BCom honors program, by the time the student graduates at the end of the fourth year, the student will have earned 160 credits, 20 times 8. However, in the new education policy, the National Education Policy of 2020, it also gives students a lot of flexibility. It understands, or it is recognizing the fact that students may not be able to or may not want to go, the full duration of 4 years. So what they are saying is that, okay, if you want to leave after 3 years, you can still get a degree, but you will not have an honors degree, you will have a BCom degree. So a student who enrolls for a BCom honors but decides at the end of 3 years that, maybe I'll quit now, then the student gets a BCom degree, and the student will have then completed 20 times 6, so that the student will have done 120 credits. That is the difference between BCom and BCom honors. So obviously in a BCom, you will be doing less courses, you will be studying fewer subjects, fewer courses as compared to a BCom honors program. All right. Another thing is that a student who, let us say, decides after 3 years that, okay, I think I'll go out and get a job. You can do that. You get a BCom degree, you go out, you work, but then you say after 1 year, after 2 years, you think maybe I'll go back and do my BCom honors. That option is available to students. So you can join back, but only thing is you have to join back within 3 years. Yeah, so you can join back, do that fourth year, do those additional 40 credits, and then you can get your BCom honors. But of course, you can't have your BCom and BCom honors. If you join the BCom honors, you have to surrender your BCom degree and you can't leave a program with 2 degrees, right? So you give up the BCom degree and you take the BCom honors degree once you pass that year. Another thing is that if you do the BCom honors program and you decide that you want to do a master's, you want to do an MCom, then your MCom would be only 1 year. So you do a 4-year BCom honors and you get to do your MCom in 1 year, so that the whole undergraduate plus postgraduate you will complete within 5 years. Can a BCom student join for an MCom? Yes. You quit after 3 years, you have a BCom degree. You don't want to join the BCom honors, you want to do an MCom. You can go for a 2-year MCom program. So again, you will have got your undergraduate and postgraduate, you would have got them within the within the time frame of 5 years. Right? So that is the primary difference between the BCom and the BCom honors. One is a fewer credits, you leave early, but you can join back later. I hope I've answered your question. Otherwise, you can ask again in the the chat box. Cheryl?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Vinayak, there's a question on the process of being a CA. Would you like to take that, sir?
The student is asking how to manage the studies
along with CA.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I know in the name who's asked this question?
This is from Dimple Chaudhary.
Dimple. Okay. Dimple, I think you are already pursuing the CA studies, right? Okay.
No, actually, I've just started.
Sorry?
I didn't start yet.
You haven't started yet. Okay. See, basically, as far as our today, I'll tell you what is the position today. Today, our institute has introduced everything on digital mode. Today your all your study material is available for free on our institute website. Gone are those days when I was pursuing my that time it was like we had to travel to Pune and metros to get those classes for the selective subjects whichever you wanted to. But today everything is available for free on our institute website. So it's about how do you manage your BCom and CA. The answer to that is more of planning. You have to complete your BCom, and you also need to complete your ambition of becoming a CA. So both have equal importance for you as far as you're concerned. So you have to you need to balance your both the studies. Okay, how you manage is up to you, and how effective you do it is also up to you. So it's all about planning, I would say. Both are manageable because today CA can be entered right after 12th, or in fact right after 10th also. So we are doing career counseling for the students right after 8th today, 8th standard. So these are the days today. So you need to plan. Please don't get up at 9 and 10 and then say that I cannot do my BCom and CA studies. You need to get up early, you need to sit late, whatever is more preferable to you, you need to do it. And the point here is hard work. Without hard work, CA is not possible. You need to put in those required hours. Let me tell you, when I have done my CA all on my own. I have not taken any classes, I have not gone to any metros. I have done it all through my alma mater, Damodar College. At that time my principal was so kind enough, so he allowed me to access the library. After my college hours, I used to go and sit in the library. I used to read those books, and that is how I've done my CA. I've not gone to any classes. So you can take that motivation from me and do it. It's possible, but it's more of self belief. You have to believe in yourself, and you should be far away from the competition. Don't be in any competition mode with your friends. If they have passed this exam, you do it. CA is not about doing it in one attempt, two attempt. It's all about luck and hard work. First is hard work, then it's all leave it to your luck. Don't compete with anybody. Stay to yourself, study well, and you can do it both, and you can come out with flying colors in both the areas. I think I've answered your question, Dimple.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Vinayak. As we have come to the end of this panel discussion, I would request our Vice Principal, Dr. Edwin Barreto, to please propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon.
Just a moment. There is one question in the chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
That anyone can take, maybe Grace or any of them. Anyone can take that. We'll start with Grace. The question, Grace, is what are your thoughts on the banking crisis and recession?
Ma'am, sorry, actually the charger just said 2%. I mean, can I request Praveen or Vinayak to take this, because the phone is going to go off any moment. I'm really sorry for this.
Yeah, I think we can start with Praveen.
Yeah. So banking crisis, I think as far as India is concerned, RBI has done a very good job. I think we are as a ecosystem of finance, India is on a much stronger footing. There is a banking crisis actually going on in the US. And if US sneezes, India will definitely have some cold. So globally, there are rumors that there might be a recession. But then, as a country, I had some data which I got from Bloomberg, which says that among the countries worldwide, India is expected to perform the best. See, the idea here is uh, the government has been investing quite well in infrastructure, and having invested in infrastructure, the country always pays off over a period of the next decade. So with roads, bridges all being constructed, there are new opportunities which are coming up. The good part about India is we have the largest population in the world. So it can be looked as a problem as well as an advantage. We are going to have a lot of self-consumption. Second, the advantage I feel India has is during COVID, a lot of companies have suffered very badly. So most of them are talking of something called a China plus one policy. What is China plus one policy? So whoever has full capacity isolated only in China, they want to have one more foot in another country, because if something goes wrong in China, their production and global supply chains don't get this. So the biggest beneficiary of this not been is been Vietnam actually. Okay. Now India has got almost 14% of the share there. But whether there will be some headwinds which India will face, I feel there will be, and there will be more disruptions happening because of the technology getting into the business. Now, for example, the latest news which has come from the government is for businesses which are billing above 5 crores annually, they have to go for e-way bill. Now, one interesting thing which is happening in India is the formalization of economy is happening in a big way. Now, whether it will lead to recession, because any transitions, there is some pain, but it depends on what you choose to focus on. Even in problems, there are opportunities. So I would, as a businessman, be very positive, and I see that India, this next 20 years is India's story. So we have had military imperialism by British, economic imperialism by China. India is out to do intellectual imperialism. So India is going to lead the world in terms of knowledge, and I think all of us should come together to participate in this bonus which is being harvested by the country. So you are at a very beautiful position in life where if you take that leap, you can really grow in your life. So I think should not affect India as badly as it could affect the world. I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Praveen. Uh, there is a question from Uma regarding the subjects in BCom first year. Ma'am Anjali, I would request you to please take that question.
Thank you, Sharal. Uma, at this stage, we have not yet received detail about subjects at BCom. So as soon as the structure and the pattern is available, we'll put it on WhatsApp group as well as college website. We'll have to wait for some time. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. There is a question from Pratiksha regarding becoming a CA. Can a private candidate student apply for BCom and become a CA? Mr. Vinayak.
I haven't understood the question actually. Can a private student apply for BCom and can become a CA? See, as far as CA is concerned, there is no restriction as far as you being a private. CA is always a self-study course. You can do it after your BCom basically, or during your BCom also. As I've already said, there is no restriction as far as becoming a CA is concerned.
As regards BCom, I've not understood, as Vinayak says, what she means by private candidate student. Maybe you can ask the teacher separately if you're on the WhatsApp group. Maybe you can talk to the teacher and find out. Yes, they will know what is eligibility. Anybody who has completed standard 12 can apply for the BCom program. That is the eligibility. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. There is a question on YouTube. Will a student, if a student does BCom honors, will it benefit him or her for pursuing MBA?
Who should take that question, Cheryl?
Um,
I can take it.
yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay. In the sense that the student will still have to do a 2-year MBA. It's not like the MCom. If you do a 4-year BCom, you can do your MCom in 1 year. But if you do your 4-year BCom and if you want to do an MBA, the MBA would still be a 2-year program for you. So that is one part of it. The second is whether you gain any advantage. I think the advantage is that you would know more when you enter the master's program, you would have more knowledge of commerce-related subjects like possibly accounting, management, etc. So in that sense, you would have an edge for the MCOM program. You would also be a little more mature when you join the master's program, which I think is a big advantage. I don't know whether Praveen will agree or not, since you've done your MBA. A little bit of maturity at joining an MBA program always helps. I know because I've taught at the MBA program. So this is what I've seen, that slightly more mature students are more serious and perform better, not only in terms of academics, but overall, they do a lot better. I think Praveen can add to that.
I'll just say that, before doing MBA, I would strongly recommend please work for 2 years.
Agreed. Totally agree. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am and sir. I think we have addressed all the questions that have been asked, and we can move on to the vote of thanks. I request our Vice Principal, Dr. Edwin Barreto, to please propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon once again. Today's panel discussion on career opportunities for commerce graduates have been very informative and interesting. I'm sure the students have benefited and have resolved their queries. I sincerely thank our panel members, C. Vinayak Domatkar, Mr. Praveen Kakode, and Grace Dakuna, while all our alumni of Damodar College, for your effort and encapsulating your wide knowledge in your respective areas and making it simple and clear for the students to understand. I would also like to express my gratitude towards my management and principal for always stimulating and acting as a catalyst to always give our best. I would also like to extend my deep sense of appreciation to the team behind organizing today's panel discussion, Dr. Anjali, Ainsley, Cheryl, Shreyas, Punarva, and Pradnya, for all the efforts you have taken. My sincere gratitude to the prospective students and their parents for actively participating in today's session. Activities like today's panel discussion are a regular feature at Damodar College to update students on contemporary issues and make students ready to work in the corporate world or be successful entrepreneurs. We look forward to see most of the students attending today's session at Damodar College. Thank you very much for attending and have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. I request all the participants, the panelists and the participants, to please switch on your camera so that we can take a photograph. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's panel discussion.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Good
Thank
day.
you, everyone.
Thanks to
Bye.
everyone. Bye. Bye.